Olive, anyone? You'll eat olives. I don't like olives. Too salty. I don't like them. Mama loves black olives, not green olives, but I do love olive green. And yes, this looks different simply because the light is hitting it. But if you kind of look underneath, it's close enough. My earrings match, though. Look at that. Hi! Come on in. Come on. It's a gorgeous day outside. It's right around 90 degrees, sunny, no humidity. I have been out all morning watering everything, weeding around the plantings, which came up really easy, which I'm surprised. Everything is very superficial now that I'm staying on top of it. So keeping my gardens weeding and fresh is great. We didn't have any rain yesterday, so I went out and I watered just a little bit this morning. I did notice that in my pumpkin patch, some of my pumpkins, and I happened to notice birds, some of my pumpkins separated off the vine. When that happens, they're going to die because it's the vine that feeds them. But again, I leave them down in that bin and let them put the nutrients back in there, let the birds and the pollinators have at them. The bin is overflowing onto the ground. I actually now have watermelons growing on the actual ground because the vines have come outside the pot. I still have at least a dozen that are attached to the vine. You know what? I gotta let them be feral. Don't fuss with them. Whatever I get, I get. My peppers are growing great. I have a solid half dozen, nice and healthy. The plant is doing wonderful, and everything else in the yard and the garden is doing beautifully, as you saw in a recent video when I posted everything up of what's been going. So I also spent some time out there in the area where I'm going to be putting the fencing for my new fur baby. Now, you're seeing this at the end of September, but I'm actually recording it somewhere around the 19th or 20th of August. So about a month ago, I recorded this. And that's when 811 came out to do the markings. So far, the electrical, at this time when I'm recording it, all the electrical marks, lines have been laid out across the entire backyard. So I know where everything is. I'm crossing my fingers that I don't have to change anything. If I have to move something one way or the other, because there is an 18-inch dig zone, it's that margin of safety, so to speak. Wherever your infrastructure is, you have to be at least 18 inches on either side of it to give them room to dig. So I may have to do a little adjustment, either to hop over to the other side of it or to come in narrower, but it's looking good so far. I think I'm going to have ample amount of space for whatever fur baby size or sizes that I get. And yes, guys, I'm not against adopting two animals. If they were housemates and they were surrendered together, keep them together. I'm not going to separate them. That would be devastating for them. You know, that's like adopting out your kids separately and then having them find themselves decades later. Remember, doggies are my kids. So anyway, today I have one itty bitty box from SuperBuys, really small, pretty much only has 2 purchases in it, but I have a stack from a brand new shop on Whatnot that is when it comes to variety and prices, it's like a close second to SuperBuys. It is a bigger shop. You've seen me put in a mix of smaller shops and medium-sized shops. This is another big product, big quantity shop like SuperBuys. So we're going to get into that. For those of you that are new, you just walked into Konnee's Little Corner. And for everybody else, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate you coming back. Please check to make sure you are still subscribed, because I am finding out from some of you that you know you've been subscribed and all of a sudden you're not getting notifications. You're not, finding out when I'm putting up a video. Nobody knows what's going on with YouTube, but every once in a while they seem to just drop subscribers at random. So check to make sure you are still subscribed. And if not, you know what to do because you've done it before. Right. SuperBuys. Where do you see this deal? Not one, but 2. 2 pack. This is You Can Be Pretty Girl Lashes. This is a 2-pack set, and I got 2 of them. They're both the same, so I've opened one. I'm going to show you. The other is still sealed. This is mascara and mascara remover in this particular set. Let's get both of them out. Get rid of the box. Mascara, mascara remover. See if I can turn that the right way. Okay, mascara remover, and this one is your mascara. It's black. This is a big brush, guys. This is a big brush. Look at that brush. Now, I'm going to show you the difference. I have very, very blonde tips on my eyelashes. If I put just ever so slightly a little bit of mascara on my eyelashes, you can see how ridiculously long they are. I have butterfly lashes when I have mascara on. So, black mascara and the remover. I hate leaving mascara on my eyes, and I hate trying to get it off. The remover is liquid, and it's a very thin. Can you see how thin those ridges are in there? And it literally pulls the mascara off. Then you can wipe it down with a cotton swab. I figured, you know what? I'll give it a try. I don't wear mascara all that often. When I do, I wear it very lightly, but I think that's a great deal. So Germany made this a 2-pack. Now, each of these sells for $9.99. So say $10. And I got 2 of them. $20 worth of product for $3. Basically, $1.50 a box. One of these is going in my subscriber giveaway box. I'm never going to use enough to need both of them, and I don't want it to go to waste. So, subscriber giveaway box. What do you think about that? Huh? I think that's a pretty good deal for you guys. And it was a great deal for me. All right. The only other thing in this box is Halloween supplies for my community. Spidey napkins. Small plates with Spideys on them. And then big plates with skulls. 40, 40, and 40. 120 pieces. This has a value of $12.99 at Amazon. You can buy them in a pack like this, already preset. You can also get bigger packs that have like the balloons and the tablecloths and all that other kind of stuff mixed in with it. You know, even the black silverware, the black plasticware mixed in with it. But this was the 3-pack. So the 3-pack sells for $12.99 for 120 pieces. And I picked it up for $5. This is going to my community for the Halloween festivities. I just made a big run to the office yesterday with all the stuff that I had for them. All the candy and the spray and wash for the laundry center and whatnot. They won't be surprised when I pop up with this. They've gotten accustomed to me getting things for the community. So that's all that was in that SuperBuys order. It was a very small order. One thing for you, one thing for me, one thing for the community. I'm spreading it around. Spread the love, right? Okay. This order was from August 14th. I received it on August 18th. Came very, very quickly. Nicely packed as always. All right. Now I'm going to get in to this new shop. Holy cow. All right. By the way, before I forget, SuperBuys. Okay, guys, rate them. What? Really? Yes, still 5 stars. Of course. And I have loved that I see more and more and more of you every time that I go to shop. I see at least several of you in there shopping. I see you winning bids and getting excited over it. I'm getting emails from you guys, comments on the different videos that you've gone, and some of you have used my link, Smarty Pants, when you do that, because your first purchase, however much it however many items it takes, you're getting $10 worth of free merchandise, and all you have to pay is the shipping, which is basically, yeah, it's ridiculous. So use my link. Go shop, look around, save $10, right? Okay. This shop is called AGSupply, and his name is Aram, Aram. Sweet guy. His wife Anita also gets into the act and helps with the show from time to time with her Aram, because he runs very late night. And I like that because it's perfect for parents, for night owls, for people that work during the day. You can't watch these shows, so you might be missing out on deals. He comes on later at night, sometimes 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock. They're based out of California, Granada Hills. I don't know where that is, but I do know it's in California. They have a wonderful, beautiful little boy named Aiden, and every once in a while, Aiden will come out, usually half asleep, and he'll just say hi and whatnot. So it's definitely a family, a true family thing. Husband, wife. Yeah, very, very nice people. Now, their starting bids, they do run dollar starts. They'll do a bunch of dollar starts, then they'll do a bunch of $2 starts. But on average, they do $3 starts or $5 starts, depending on the items. Most of the time, it's a $3 start. Only a couple of times I've ever seen a $5 start. They have a massive variety. You will see, especially right now, if you've got young kids, grandkids, great grandkids that are school age. I've seen backpacks with all the different like cartoon characters and popular things the kids are looking for, selling for like $3, $4, and $5. And it's not just backpacks. They're sets. It's a threesome. It's like a pencil pouch, soft lunchbox, and the backpack, all in a matching set for $3, $4, and $5, depending on how many. A lot of times he'll run the backpack and then he'll say, okay, buyer's choice. And then you just pick the one you want. You don't have to wait for him to run a particular backpack. All right. He does a lot of buyer's choice. His giveaways, amazing. Where do you see what I won as a giveaway? All right. Let me start with each of these. I've labeled them. I've done the research on them so I can let you know what I paid for them. Again, in case I forgot to tell you, this show was on August 13th. I received these items on August 18th, coming all the way cross country from California. Packing time, shipping time, 5 days. That's incredible. Gotta love it. Hold on. I need a drink. Now, Aram and Anita don't know I'm doing this review, but they'll find out. I usually don't tell a shop that I'm going to be reviewing them. After I do the review and post it, then I'll drop into a chat and say, hey, I just reviewed your shop on my YouTube channel. And, thank you for everything. And you got a 5-star rating or you got a 4-star rating or whatever the case may be. I'll let them know. Sometimes I won't put it in the chat. If it's less than a 5-star rating, I'll just message them privately. So this premium charger cable, data sync and high speed charging, right? Yes, I have been getting a lot of these lately. I have to tell you guys, I found the ones from Temu. Gotta say it, for the most part, they're crap. They don't last. They break at the junction where the wire goes into the actual clip that goes into your phone or into the block. Or they're supposed to be fast charging and it takes 4 hours to charge your phone from 50% to 100%. They're garbage. They're great to keep around in a pinch, but they're garbage. So I got this 3-pack. 1 white, 1 black, 1 pink. I don't care about the color. Each of them has their own cable. They're approximately a 3-foot cable. These are Type C. So this end goes into the phone, and I have an Android, which is a Type C. It fits in there nice and snugly. And then the other end is very small end because that's what goes into the cube. is a teeny tiny end on here. This is compatible with any phone that has a Type-C charging system. Hold on. Oh, if I can get these in. I can never get them in. There we go. And it's your regular cube. Now, to keep all these. That's the thing. I don't know if I will keep all these or not. I am debating. I will plug one in and I will see how quickly it charges my phone. If it does charge my phone fast enough, I might keep it, but I might share and put one or two in my giveaway box, in my subscriber giveaway box. I like to give you things good, you things. I like to give you things that are good and usable. This has a retail value of $9.99 for this set, and I got it for a $5 bid. $5 for 3 chargers with 3 cables. Now, this says 18 months Amazon satisfaction guarantee. 18 months. iPhone fast charger, 20 watt. iPhone, iPad. Fits my Android. There you go. Great deal on that, a 3-pack. Let's set that over there. All right, this was a 2-pack. This is Amazon Basics, and these are mini extension cords. It's a set of 2. They're both the same, so I'm going to open up one. Put that over there. Get my scissors out. Oh, I don't need to cut it. Okay, it's got a nice little twisty tie on it. New in box, as you can tell. This set of 2 retails, the MSRP is $13.43. New with tags. It's not very... Extra cords. They really wrap this puppy up. Not very long. It's about 3 feet. It does have a grounded plug on it, and I like the way that it's turned, because instead of sticking out, you can put it flat up against the wall and not have to have like your piece of furniture, whatever, 2 inches from the wall. So it's roughly 3 feet long. It has 3 spots to plug in, so that's pretty good. I got this 2-pack, and yes, he did have more, for $3. I think that's a great deal. $3 for 2 short cords. Most of the time I need short cords. I need a short cord to go from like behind the television set down to the outlet, or behind the desk down to the outlet, because my house is full of receptacles. I have outlets everywhere. The only place I need a longer extension cord is out on the porch, because I only have the one receptacle on the wall that's up against the living room. And if I want to plug in anything on the other side or ends of the porch, I need a 6-foot cord at least. But great deal on these. 2 of them for $3. They did have more. Again, with this company, you need to ask. You need to look in the bin. They do things a little bit differently there. When he's running $1 or $2 starts, he'll put the item up in front of you. He'll open the box. He'll show you exactly what you're getting. Right? That's wonderful. I love that. But he keeps an enormous amount of things in his bin, in his buy it now, in his little shop, so to speak. And when I say enormous, I'm talking almost 500 items in his shop for you to scroll through and do pre-bids on. So if there's something you're interested in, and maybe you don't have the time to hang around and wait for it, you can go in, you can do a pre-bid on the item, set whatever your maximum bid is going to be on it, just in case maybe somebody else wants it, right? And you can bid that way and then go about your business. And if you win, when your auction runs, you'll get notification that your auction is about to run, and you can either jump back on or just let it run, and you either win it or you don't. Aram and Anita are very, very good that every once in a while, during at least once an hour, because their shows run 5-6 hours. at least once an hour, they will go in and run the pre-bids. They'll say, okay, I'm running pre-bid this and pre-bid that. Now, if you don't know what time they're going to run a pre-bid, ask. Just go into the chat and say, hey, I have to step away, but what time do you think you'll be running your pre-bids? Or can you run your pre-bids now because I have to step away and I have several pre-bids? They will work with you. They're wonderful about that. They're really flexible. They're not so rigid in the way they've set up their show for that day, that stream for the day. They will happily bounce around back and forth for you. All right. This is heavy. This weighs probably 3 pounds. So yes, I did pay higher shipping on this. I think I paid $9 shipping on this. And this came by itself because of its weight. But wait till you see what I got. Anybody out there like real cast iron? Real, thick, heavy, one piece cast iron. Now, you've all seen these. You can make certain little pastries in here. I love the cast iron pan because when I make my meatballs, I don't fry them. I used to put them on a cookie sheet and then put them in the oven and just let all the juices. This is going to be fantastic for either making little muffins, little meatballs, little pastries, whatever else you can think of putting in this thing. And this is heavy. And yes, he has a lot more of them. How many does this have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 15 spots. 15. But it's so thin, it's not going to take up any kind of space in my cabinet down with my other bakeware. The season is coming. Now, season. You have to season your cast iron before you use it, right? I had told you all how to do that before. It's very simple. Clean this up really good. Do not scour it. No steel wool, ever. Yes, you can use a little green, like a Scotch-Brite type thing, because that's not really scratchy. But give it a nice, good, soapy clean. Rinse it good. Spray your cooking oil into here on the whole thing, not just inside and around, but the whole thing inside and out, but at least the inside. Put it in your oven for anywhere from 350 to 375 for about 45 minutes. Take it out, wash it lightly with soap and water, and put it away. Put it in a dark, dry place. My cast iron pans, you should never stack a cast iron pan unless you put a paper towel between it so that any moisture that happens to get, if you have like high humidity like I do, you don't want the moisture getting in there because rust will happen. But rust will never destroy one of these pans. You just scrub it out and re-season it. Cast iron pans are forever. So this beautiful thing retails for $19.99 and I picked it up for $5. 25% of its cost, basically. $20 value for $5. And it was delivered in 4 days. I can't complain. And no, I'm not going to complain about the shipping because I had other items. And when I divide all this up among the shipping, my shipping worked out to be something like 20 or 27, 29 cents per item in shipping. Well, I would have paid 29 cents more for that item, so I don't really even count the shipping. I'm getting such a good deal. It's still cheaper, right? Look at that. I love it. All right, I'm going to stick it down there out of the way so I don't break something with it. Okay. You guess? Nope. Not a blanket. Nope. Not a towel. Keep guessing. I think one of you got it. I think one of you got it. This is a 2-pack of pillow covers. 18-inch pillow covers. 18 by 18 or 45 centimeters by 45 centimeters. But this is the softest. OMG. I said, you know what? So many of my pillow covers have patterns on them, especially in the living room. Even these basic ones that I got, these pillow covers, still has a pattern on it. Every once in a while, I just want something without a pattern. But look at the design. Yes, it has a design, but it doesn't have a lot of color. It doesn't have a lot of thread work. It's just super soft, nice diamond pattern. And yeah, he's got more of them. They have more. On the back, it is beautifully, super, super soft. Look at that. Look at the fuzzies. Can you see the fuzzies? They're washable. They have their zippers, if I can find them. Where's the zipper? There we go. They have their zippers. Nice and roomy, and no, they're not lined, but they don't have to be. 100% washable. I love this. These have a value, the 2-pack has a value of $9.99, so $10. I picked up this 2-pack for $4. Our old friend that starts with T can't even compete with this. The portion of shipping for this added up with taxes and everything, I paid less than taxes and shipping broken down for this item. I paid less than $4.50 for these two total. And I got them in a matter of days. I should have gotten the other ones they had so I could cover everything in white. Eventually, I might. You never know. Those are really nice. So again, $9.99 value. Got them for $4. Are you hooked yet? Wait, there's more. Coffee warmer. Now, this is just not just. Why am I talking backwards? You know why? I haven't had any coffee today. I got up this morning. Yes, I slept good last night, guys. I got 7.5 hours sleep. I'm thinking I'm finally back on a normal sleep schedule. But I got up this morning. I was well rested. I was like ready to go. I just had energy. So I got up and I went outside and I started doing all the things I told you about. And I never had my coffee, which is okay. I will have a cup of coffee later, though, simply because I don't want to risk getting any kind of a migraine or a headache. I'm very susceptible, especially with the weather. But coffee mug warmer. This is going to sit out on my coffee table, which is where I sit most often to have my cup of coffee. But this is a very different one. I'll read you some of the information on here. There's your little thing that it comes with. And I'm going to open it up. It is corded. It is not one of those rechargeable things. It is corded. And it's got a decent length cord to it. I believe they said it's either a 4 or a 6 foot cord. Because the last thing any of us want to do is have the cord catch, pull, and have our coffee and a hot plate go all over the place. Yeah, this is a 6 foot cord. This is easily a 6 foot cord. Make sure I don't kink it. Oh, yeah. Yes, it's a 6 foot cord. It's got a product certification on the back of it. Coffee mug warmer. Now, see this little button right here? That's actually not your on-off button. That's a pressure sensor. When you put your coffee cup on here, that button comes down can you see it? Just a little bit lower than the leg. There's the support leg. There's the little button. This is a pressure sensor. When your I keep saying that. When your coffee cup is placed on here, it pushes this down. This warms up. When you lift your coffee pot, the heat goes off. It's got a pressure sensor on it so that it is never on. It is not continuing to pump out heat if your cup is not on it. You can leave this plugged in. It'll never get warm until you start putting something on it because there won't be anything to push on that little sensor button. So that makes it very safe. If you've ever had one of these, when you take your coffee cup off of it, it literally shuts off like that. They don't retain heat. In a matter of seconds, it will be cool to the touch. You give it like 10, 15 seconds and you'll be able to touch it. It cools down quickly. Yes, he had more of these. I am so glad he had this one because the one I got from you know where almost started a fire in my tiny home. That's how bad it was. Oops, hold on. I am getting a notification that my computer is running out of energy. We can't have that now, can we? It's one thing for me to run out of energy, but I can't let my battery die. So, on this mug warmer, the pressure sensor switch will automatically switch on when the weight is more than 10 grams. An empty ceramic coffee cup is enough to turn the heat on. So if you're putting a mug down on this, just make sure it has some coffee in it. If your mug is empty, don't put it on there because your mug itself could have that kind of weight, especially if you're using something that's big and thick. Gently press the cup to switch on the pressure sensor for the first time. The weight of the cup with the coffee should be between 250 grams and 450 grams, which means my big cups will be fine on it and a regular smaller cup, as long as it's not like a 6-ounce. You don't want to use like a demi-tasse cup or a cappuccino, a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Espresso cup. You don't want to use the little ones because it won't work. You need a regular coffee cup with this. The position of the cup will also affect the sensor switch, so you want to make sure that your cup is centered on that so that the switch goes down. If you're not sure where the switch is, here's your cord. Your switch is at the opposite end. So if you have this sitting on the table this way and your cord is here, you can put your coffee cup more towards that side and you know it's going to hit the switch. It says the product complies with FCC and CE standards. Wonderful thing. It gives you all the information on the inside that you could possibly need about it. I think it's an absolute steal. Why? Because this sells for $20.89 and I picked it up for $6. Great steal, great deal. Very, very happy with that. I will definitely get that plugged in right over here. I will have to use one of my little extension pieces so that because I have a couple other things already plugged in over there. So I'll use one of my little brand new 3-foot extension cords I got and get that puppy plugged in so it'll be ready for tomorrow morning. All right, 2 more things. Big, but doesn't really weigh much. And yes, I did already get one of these I'm about to show you, a different one from our old hangout. Let's just call it that. But this one is a little bit different. This, oh my goodness. Hold on. I know, you can see the green, right? This is a big 2-gallon watering can. Now, the other can I got is a 2-gallon watering can as well, but that one's short and squat and fat. This one almost looks like a gas can. This is thin and narrow. It's got a rubber seal here on the end. It's got a closure so that when you fill it, your water's not going to pour out of the top while it's pouring out of the bottom should you fill it all the way up. And it's on a pivot, so it's not going to go anywhere. You can seal it back up. It snaps nice and tight. It's all molded in one piece. Isn't that cool? Here's the humongous nozzle that it comes with. This thing is huge. There's your sprinkler spout. You can take this end off. Got to be very careful though to take it off. I don't want to break it. If you don't want it, it does come off. But if you don't want to sprinkle, you can take it off and use it for pouring, or you can take it off of here and use it for pouring. But it goes on nice and tight. Oh my goodness gracious. Because of that rubber seal. And you can also make it directional, any particular way that you might want it to go, coming in from the side, coming in from the top. When you pour, it's going to be a gentle sprinkle. That is quite the watering can, right? But it comes with this. Isn't this cute? Tiny, tiny, tiny little spade. All right. Just for getting around a little bit, which I could have used this morning. When I have a little bit of weeding to do and I don't want to disturb the main plants in the pot, this is perfect. This is perfect if you are potting something in a decorative pot and not in the ground. Your little spade. You usually use like a spoon or a fork from the house to do it, but this is just adorable. And it was included with this big, giant watering can. So, with the way I have things set up outside now, which I showed you in a previous video, how I ran my hoses, and I have the big heavy-duty hose at the front of the house, and then I have the expandable hose at the back of the house. I now will have two watering cans. I'll have the bigger watering can out front with that hose for the front of the house. I may not want to drag the whole hose out. I can either fill the watering can from the hose or from my rain barrel. And then I have this for the back of the house and the other side of the house. So the front and down the driveway is one watering can and one hose. The back of the house and up the other side is one watering can and one hose. I like convenience. All right, he has more of these. This sells for $22.99. $22.99. And I got it with this for $3. He has more, guys. He has more. All right, we set that over there. That'll go outside with the garden stuff. Those are my purchases. This last thing I'm going to show you was what I won in his giveaway. He don't go cheap in the giveaways. I was really surprised because when I saw this, I'm thinking, I didn't order this. And then when I went back and I looked at the order on my phone, I went into the app, the Whatnot app, and I scrolled through. I accounted for everything. That's where I got all my prices and everything from and confirmed. This was in there as labeled as a giving, meaning a giveaway. So what did I get? This is a microwave heating pad. 5 sections, really super soft on this side, more like linen on this side. This thing is heavy, but this is perfect for an arm, a shoulder, the back of the neck if you need it, a leg, my knees. When my knees start to get to aching, this will just lay there. You heat this in the microwave and you just lay it on. It's called a Susie pad. Have you ever heard of these? These are great. And it's nice and soft and comfortable. Hold on. That came out of nowhere. I have no idea where it came from. No, didn't come from that because I would have sneezed again. But it is. The fabric is, they call it minky plus linen. The ingredients are clay beads, flaxseed, and millet. And it says, do not wash the seed pad. Do not leave in the microwave unattended. Do not overheat. Keep dry. You put this in your microwave for literally anywhere from about 30 seconds to maybe 1 minute max. 30 seconds, depending on your microwave. And this is a really beautiful shade of lavender. I don't know if you can tell. It almost looks like the color of a lilac bush. So maybe I should call it lilac instead of lavender. It has some weight to it, so you're going to feel it. It's going to hold itself against your body. This I won in the giveaway. This has a value of $9.99, $10. And he just gave it to me in the givey. Wow. Okay, just wow. So that's going to go with my medicinal things. Variety. What do you think, guys? Are we ready to rate this seller? Are we ready to rate this shop? Now, they do things differently, and I'm going to explain that to you, and then I'm going to explain to you how or why that did or did not affect how I rated this. So the shop is AGSupply. If you like the things I've shown you, if you're curious, if you're interested, just go to the Whatnot app, type in AGSupply. Again, no spaces, no gaps, all together. There's only one that's going to come up. And then bookmark it so that you can watch the next show. Get in there and just watch. All right. So how are we going to rate them? Well, let's start at the beginning. Shipping and packing. Shipping speed and packing. Quick and excellent. No problems with either. Everything came very, very fast. Everything was packed securely. And he broke it down into several boxes. Even though I wasn't charged multiple amounts of shipping, he broke it down into several boxes. Like the cast iron piece came in its own box. It was not combined with anything else. And then everything else came in several boxes, but was all part of that shipping cost for the entire order. So his costs, excuse me, his shipping speed and his packing was great. The price of the shipping and the price of the items, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. No complaints. I got a steal on everything I got from him. $3, $4, $5. And then the cost of the free item. Yeah, I can't complain at all about his prices or any of the prices that I saw as I observed his auction. The first time I went to AGSupply, I just kind of sat back, had my phone propped up, and I just watched for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then every once in a while, I type in a question, because he was doing like backpacks like crazy, and they were selling like crazy. This is the time of year. So I asked him, was he going to move on to other products? How much longer was he going to do backpacks, And he responded. He was paying attention to the chat. Again, when you ask a question, you have to make sure you put that question mark. You can't just say, what's next, and not put a question mark, because it won't draw his attention. And they have too many people in there to catch every single little comment and know what if you're asking, how do you write out a question? You put a question mark at the end, right? I can't stress this enough. I've seen this with people in shows I've been in recently, that they ask a question, they don't put a question mark. So I will ask the question again for them when I see that the host or the presenter is not responding. I'll retype the question. I'll say, hey, at whatever their username is, would like to see this question mark. So I go in there and I'm trying to teach everybody how to do this. So the price of the shipping and the price of the item, full star for that. Variety and presentation. I was hesitant, but I am going to give them a full star for this. But I'll explain to you why I was hesitant. Variety, yeah, they got that. Trust me, across the board. They had things I've never seen in other shops. Weird art combination things, kitchen gadgets I've never seen, candle holders, abstract things. Just, I was like, wow, really? I could not believe the things I was seeing. So variety, yes. Presentation, if I could have given like a quarter star instead of a full half star, I didn't want to break it down. So I am going to give the other half on presentation. As I said in the beginning, if he's running $1, $2, $3 bids and he's pulling an item in front of the camera, he will give you the information on it. He'll open it if he needs to. He'll show it to you. He'll weigh it. He'll give you as much information as he has. But if you're going into the buy it now and you're putting a pre-bid in, he never shows, nor does Anita. They don't show those items. They don't pull them out before they run them and say, okay, I got a pre-bid on this, here's the item. They just say, I got a pre-bid on this, and they run it. So if you're going in and putting a pre-bid on the bin, you have to go by what you see in that picture. You have to figure out if that's something that you really want. Now, some things are simple, like the electric cords. That was pretty cut and dry, right? I didn't have to worry about that. But the other thing, before I put a pre-bid in, I asked, I said, hey, can I see this before I do a pre-bid because I want more information? Sure, he pulled it out when you ask. So if you don't ask and you go into the bin, see, to me, that's like, but I'm not going to penalize them that half a star. And I don't do quarter star, so I'm not going to penalize them the half a star for the presentation simply because I don't like that we're not getting information on anything in the bin. We have to ask for it or we don't get it. So that thing I don't like. Communication overall. Yep. They both pay very, very close attention to the chat. Again, they might miss a little something, but Anita especially, she'll scroll back up. She moves at a little slower pace than Aram does. And she will scroll back and see if she missed something. I've seen people say, scroll up, a question was asked, and then they put a question mark, and then she'll scroll back up to find that question. Again, the more people that are in the room shopping, you need to make sure you ask your questions properly so that they come to the attention of the host. But the communication is very, very good. I did have to send them a message through Whatnot, and I did get a response. So that was good. That worked out fine. Seller attitude. Both Anita and Aram are very laid back. They're very casual. They're not really in your face. You know, if like when Aram was doing the backpacks and it was getting to the point where people had been like backpacked out and maybe only one person bid on it, it was $3. And he's going, come on, come on. $3? You're going to let a backpack for $3? You know what? And when it did, he's like, congratulations, what a steal. He didn't make a big deal out of it. He did try to encourage people, but he wasn't yelling at people like another shop that I had visited and I warned you guys about. He was being very nice about it, very casual about it, trying to encourage people, say, hey, come on, I know you want to get, it was his way of saying, I know you want to get this item cheap, but really? But he's okay because he sold so many of them. And there were a couple people in there that must have each bought like 5 or 10 backpacks. At a good price. There was some competition, so there was some rapid bids going on, a lot of swiping going on. People kept coming in. And what I noticed in the chat is that a lot of people were coming in and they were calling him by name. Hey, Aram, what's Anita? You know, where's Anita tonight? We're going to get to see her. How's Aiden doing? Which is their son. He's a toddler. And, you know, he gets involved and he gets to know the people that shop from him and they're getting to know him. That speaks volumes to me. I like that because if he has repeat customers that are enjoying the show and interacting with him or them on a friendly basis, that's high marks, right? That's somebody who, yes, they're trying to make money, but they're people oriented and they're shopper oriented or they're customer oriented, wherever you want to call it. So I gave AGSupply a full 5 stars. Now, I do have another order coming from them. It should be here in a few days, but I did give them 5 stars on this particular one. I went back. I bought more. Will I go back again? Probably. Probably. But what you guys are going to start seeing coming down the road is as the summer weather is passing and we're getting into the fall, September, October, you're going to start seeing more of what's going on just around the corner. You will start seeing that progress of getting my backyard space ready for my new fur baby. I have decided that I am going to go to the local Humane Society. I am going to go to the kill shelter and rescue whichever animal speaks to me. As I did say, I have no problem rescuing a pair if they were surrendered together. Granted, I mean, if they're both 100-pound dogs, no, I can't do that. But having an outside exercise space for a larger dog or for two dogs to romp around and play and get crazy, yeah, I can do that. I'm okay with that, right? That doesn't matter to me. I can do that. It's just the inside space, obviously, is very limited, but it has a nice flow. Could they get zoomies in the house? Absolutely. Will they run into things? Absolutely. But it's okay. So just around the corner, we'll be coming back with a little bit more household stuff, outdoor stuff, um, more stuff with Mama to come. As you've seen, I now have this nice little purple package for Mama. I have a bunch of purple pens and her purple mushrooms. I got that all ready to go for her. So what do you think? I have seen a lot of you going out to the shows that I've recommended. I saw quite a few of you at Shop Madam President's first show, and I am waiting for my order from her to come in. I've seen you at UltraAuthentic. I've seen you at NVUSDeals. I've seen you in SuperBuys. I love that I am seeing my peeps out there, my family out there, and so many of you have communicated to me about the great deals that you're finding, that you're learning how to navigate, you're learning to be patient, to ask for what you want to see, to look for what you want to see. And if there's nothing coming up that day, then you know, okay, I'll check back another day. And you're not just kind of hanging out and just spending because you want to spend. Yesterday, SuperBuys was doing nothing but clothing, and Germani was on for, oh my gosh, how long was Germany on? 5, maybe 6 hours doing nothing but clothes. I picked up a 3 or 4 pack of shorts for a steal. And oddly enough, she ran this beautiful tray, and I thought, OMG, I just threw out an old tray that I'd been using in the house, and that was perfect. It just went with everything. So I got that for a song. But more to come, right? So thumbs up, share this, get it out so everybody can see it. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. Let's get that subscriber count up there. I just sent out a big box, what, a month and a half, 2 months ago? I sent out a massive box. I've got a very unique box ready to go out when we hit 4,000 subscribers. And everybody who's been my subscriber for at least 30 days will be able to get in on that giveaway. I'd love to have you all join me, even if you don't watch all the time. I know there's a lot of you out there that are Temu fanatics. I have a little bit more Temu coming. As I said, it's tied up in customs. Who knows when it'll ever get here? But they keep throwing credits at me. So as long as they keep throwing credits at me, you'll get to see a little bit of Temu, but not a lot of Temu. Things are changing for everybody that used to do Temu. So I'm not the exception to the rule. I'm becoming the norm. It's the only thing normal about me. Anyway, guys, stay hydrated. Above all else, please stay sweet. And check out the next video that's coming in just a couple of days. You'll be amazed. Bye.